Hello, I'm a single mom who likes to travel, especially by camper van or train. Today I'd like to share our road trip through and to Denmark. If you're interested, stay tuned. We start out in Berlin, stay for one night near Bad Segeberg, famous for its annual Karl May festival. We continue on over the Danish border to stay 2 nights on a local farm and mini campsite at Skerrebæk, continue on to visit the Ribe Viking Center and Billund Legoland. After that we stay 2 nights on the peninsula at the Helnes camping site, from which we continue on with our journey via the 3.8 million expensive Storebælt bridge to get to Copenhagen to visit Tivoli and the Blue Planet, Northern Europe's largest aquarium. After that we make our way back in direction of Berlin via the ferry from Gedser to Rostock and stay 1 night on a small farm in Wattmannshagen near Outtro. After that we travel back to Berlin. In this video we'll take you to Tivoli with us, enjoy breakfast at the hotel, show you around the hotel pool, visit Europe's largest aquarium, the Blue Planet, head back to Berlin via ferry, and spend 1 night on a lovely little farm near Rostock before we head back to Berlin. After checking in, we had to push ourselves a bit to go to Tivoli, as we were a bit tired after traveling, but we still made it to the amusement park. I had treated us with full access tickets. There's also tickets for just having admission to the park or buying tickets for single rides. We went for a round on a chair swing ride and walked around in the park trying out the rides that seemed fun until we got to the children's section of the park, where we stayed for a bit. Even the toilet was parent-child friendly so that we could simultaneously use the facility. After that, we came to something that looked like a stage, where we came across a white peacock. Tivoli is the second oldest amusement park in the world, opened in 1843. Walt Disney is said to have been inspired by Tivoli before opening Disneyland. It has its own theater and concert hall, and drew 4.25 million visitors in 2024. We wrapped up our visit to the park with a ride on the Rutschebahn, which was my personal highlight, as I love wooden roller coasters. The next morning we went for breakfast. The breakfast room was quite impressive. The choice was vast, even with a section for weekends. Only the cheeses did not quite impress me, to be honest. And there was even a section for children, which basically represented most of the adult choices, but on lower buffet tables. A barista was ready to take orders. The only thing that I found irritating was that the coffee was served in disposable cups. I had promised to take my daughter to the pool, so there we went. It did get more crowded as it got later, and I did want to do something sightseeing-wise, so after a while we left the pool, heading for the Children's Museum, which was quite a walk away from the hotel. Upon arrival, we had to find out that it was closed, in opposition to what Google said, so my tip is do check the website. So we had to make our way back and opted to go for the Blue Planet, which was a 20-minute drive away from Tivoli Hotel. Also here, the app Co-op Parking app came in handy, as mentioned before. The Blue Planet is the second largest aquarium in Northern Europe. Its building design is inspired by a whirlpool. It features altogether 7 million liters of water, houses more than 20,000 animals and over 450 species. This number compares to Cannes in France, St Andrews in the UK, or Interlaken in Switzerland. Right by the entrance, there was a possibility to literally get in touch with some aquarium inhabitants, namely the doctorfish, which was quite fun. Next, we went on to a tropical environment where we came also right in touch with little critters like deceased butterflies or even bats, so you might want to skip that if you find that a bit gruesome. And also we saw a live bat. I was excited to hear that there were also sloths, but this is the most we got to see of them. A bit sad, but yeah, what can you do? Next, we came past a flat basin where we could also get in touch with some small sharks, starfish, crabs, and flounders. What I liked about this one was the possibility for the fish to get away from the people's hands in dedicated resting areas. And outside there was a greater outdoor water play area. Next to it there were the otters, which I found absolutely adorable. Next, we saw some puffins and got amazed by the exhibition of prehistoric animals. The sheer size was really, really impressive. We walked under sharks and rays and greeted other ones and found charming seahorses. We stayed until the aquarium closed down and asked all the visitors to leave, made our way back to the hotel and quickly checked out the view from the sky bar. I think that night we had dinner in the camper van, of which I didn't take any pictures. The next morning it sadly was time to say goodbye to the smiling electrical outlets, which really made me also smile when looking at them. Checked out and headed toward the ferry in Gedser. We arrived nicely early and were also able to watch some of the ferry business unfold almost from our first row. Then it was time for us to board the ferry. We said goodbye to Danish shores in direction of Rostock. Inside the ferry it was not crowded at all. And after a short trip, we arrived in Rostock, passing Warnemünde.
Ja, das ist knapp, ne?
Doch, das ist aber sehr knapp. So ein Buchstabe ist das?
Welcher?
We headed to the small farm I had booked via Road Surfer Spots, which also seems to be available via Airbnb, namely there you can rent the caravan that they put next to the meadow. The very friendly host gave us a nice welcome and showed us around. It was very peaceful. We watched some starlings, had a friendly cat visitor and said hi to the sheep. And for dinner we sat on a blanket and then enjoyed the sunset, went to sleep for the last night in the camper van. The next morning we went on our last leg of our journey towards Berlin, where I brought back the camper van the next morning after having unloaded and cleaned it. Check out my camper van review in the link above. If you enjoyed watching, please like, share and subscribe. Leave a comment below, and if you could hype this video, that would be just amazing. And see you next time.